And we live. It is Tuesday, 8:22 a.m., June 2nd, 2026. Let's make some money, people. Except I have no people. Just grinding every day, trying to figure out what to do. So there was a big sell-off last night, and at about midnight, the market had a big rally back to where it opened. Today I'm trading my Apex evaluation and Legends evaluation accounts. Trying to pass the evaluations and then I'll get those funded. Not looking for any crazy buys, just trying to stay consistent, set my losses, and not do anything too crazy. So what we were looking at was the market opened and then it sold off to, looks like yesterday's lows. Hit, it was trying to test 3,300, so that 300 level on the NQ. That's an important level. That was yesterday's lows. So it bounced off yesterday's lows. Didn't quite sweep yesterday's lows, but tested yesterday's lows, and then there was a V-shaped recovery. So right now the price is in consolidation. The high was at about 21,800, and then it's trying to break through. What is that? 3,550. This 500, 500, 550, 560 level is important to watch. So I'm probably not going to make any trades until I see it break in either direction, and then look at the market and try to figure out what's going on. All right, yeah, that's what I was looking for, a little liquidity sweep. So it's running down to 520. This could be the start of a bullish reversal, but I'll have to wait and see how this plays out. 8:30, so that was the close of 30-minute candle. And yeah, the 30-minute has just been barcoding since 4 o'clock in the morning. Today, we have Jolt's job openings at 10 a.m., but not much news. At 8:30, there was a Fed hammock speech, but nothing coming out until 10 a.m. this morning. That's red folder, Jolt's job openings. And not expecting much of a change, expecting 6.88 million. Prior it was 6.86 million. So if there's a surprise that can move the market. Yeah, that was a little liquidity sweep. Swept 525. I mean, this is pretty still bullish. Still have a lot of bullish momentum in the market. This little sell-off. I mean, it wasn't much, but it did get bought. Well, we see the reason I'm seeing that the market's still bullish is we're making higher lows. So every time it sweeps, it gets bought up, and then it retests, gets bought up. I mean, that's bullish. That's a bullish pattern. But it's still early. There's not much volume in the market, so we'll have to wait to see what happens market open. But yeah, everything looks like that the bulls are still in control. I mean, that's the thesis for market open. But we are at all-time highs, so a lot can happen. So right now the market going into 9 o'clock, it's just bouncing around this 500 to 575 level. But yeah, you see it's just kind of like in the middle right now. Tried to sweep lower, but it was a lower high, so the bulls are still in control. But this is the pre-market session, so what I have to look for at open is some sort of break outside of this range, because since about 3 o'clock in the morning, it's found this range in the market. It had a V-shaped recovery. The market sold off. The market at a little after mid 1 o'clock yesterday in yesterday's session swept highs, and it's been selling off since, and then tried to sweep the lows of yesterday's session. So it's a range right now. We're in a range, a 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. range within a range. So it really helps to map out yesterday's highs and lows. So yesterday's lows were about 3,300, and yesterday highs were about 3,700. So that's the range that we're in. And if you look at that, it was almost like a V-shaped fib retracement. So we had swept yesterday's lows overnight session, and then right now we've come back to a range. And so we're in a range since 3 a.m. and that range, we're just kind of sitting in the middle of it. So we're waiting to see what happens at market open. And then of course we have some news at 10 a.m. We have some news coming out. We have the JOLTS, the job openings. So, and we're not expecting much of a surprise. So we do get a surprise that can move the market. So we're waiting to see what happens with that. I mean, unless we see this level, this like 500 level, 550, the bulls can take 550 and hold it. Then the bullish thesis is intact, but if the volume keeps them dropping off and it keeps on selling down, there's downside in the market. I mean, this can be hunting, you know, the 300 level. So I mean, we could see there's a lot of potential for sell-off. If this breaks 510, watch out. It can be going down. There's a lot of downside potential to this. But it would have to break 520. Break and hold 520 because it's been bouncing off this level This is still trading in the range, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, after yesterday's news with Trump, whether he's gonna uphold a peace deal with Iran. I mean, that's not really doing much to the market right now. We're just reacting to that, but right now we're just we're waiting for the JOLTS, the job openings. So as soon as we see what happens at 10 o'clock, but yeah, you see this is a little bit of a sell-off. All right, well, nice little 5 points. But I took that trade, it broke the 520. If it holds this, there's going to be downside. If it breaks under 520 and it holds. So we broke 520 and now this is a bear flag in this range. Trying to, if this holds, then the bears are in control. But if this turns into a liquidity sweep, then there's going to be some upside. So just have to see what happens here. By 9:11, market open 9:30. That's what we're waiting for, and then jolts at 10 a.m. Semis, I've been buying a lot of semis. The semi stocks have been doing really well the last year. Up big with semis. I mean, as an investor, you just go with semis. You put all your money into semis. I mean, it's almost a sure bet. But I felt that way for a long time. I've always liked semis. I thought even before AI and everything that's happened around AI, semis, I've always felt semis were a really good investment. But in the last year, for instance, my holdings in SOX, the iShare Semiconductor ETF, it's up almost 100%, which is pretty phenomenal. HVAC is doing really well as well. It's not quite up 100%, but for instance, the HVAC ETF on the year, it's up about a little over 30%, 33.89%, which is still beating the market. But some of those holdings associated with HVAC, for instance, VRT, Vertiv, has been doing phenomenal. I mean, the last year, wow, last year that's up 200%. But yeah, check out VRT, Vertiv. I mean, that stock has been phenomenal. It's up 196% in the last year. I mean, it's just been on a tear. And this Vertiv, what they do is they supply HVAC for a lot of the data centers. So this has been a big beneficiary of the AI boom. Whenever we're building more data centers, we're also VRT, Vertiv is providing them with HVAC. So it's a really important part of the industry. Not only is it supporting AI and data centers, but it's going to be important, with things like space travel and supercomputers. I mean, anything that's related to tech, really. It's such an incredible opportunity. HVAC, you're going to see a lot of growth in that in the future. So in this range, we found a new low. So it swiped 480. Swiped 480, and now it's sitting right here. It's still within the range. It made a new low within this this last few hours. But we're sitting here and waiting for market open to see what to do, what the next move is. So we're still sitting within this range. It just expanded a little bit, swept a little bit of liquidity, and waiting for market open, and then jolts at 10 a.m. I like watching excuse me. I like watching NVIDIA, but I pull up a chart of NVIDIA on the other screen, and I just monitor NVIDIA. It's one of my charts, because it's, right now it's sitting at the top of the NASDAQ 100, and I'm trading NQ, so it's the biggest holding in that. And I like watching NVIDIA because over the last few years, I've really noticed that there's a correlation between moves in NVIDIA and then moves in the broader market. It's been such a driving force. Seen some really interesting dynamics, because of what's moving in NVIDIA. So that's to me, that's been a really important indicator. Right now, NVIDIA's up 1% pre-market. There's a little bit of a gap from the close of yesterday's session and the open. So, at this point, based on everything that I'm seeing, there's a gap. We swept liquidity last night, V-shaped recovery. My thesis going into market is, I'm looking for downside potential. It would be hard for me to jump into any longs at this point. So right now what I'm looking at is we have resistance up here at about 570. If it breaks 570, 600. So we'd be shooting for 600. Still in this range, this little range that we've been in for the last few hours. And then support. Support is down here now at about 500. So break 500, 480, and then there's a lot of downside potential. Sweep last night's lows. We'll see. Jolts at 10 a.m. We're gonna have market open in a couple minutes. The Iran war. There's a lot going on right now. But still, the bias still, I would say, is bullish. Oftentimes I find when there's a slightly bullish bias, but we've had a little bit of a sell-off, then the way that the market works, there can be some short-term downside potential, just because, you know, when there's a little bit of a bullish bias, there's not much to squeeze in terms of shorts, so it needs to collect some liquidity. So it we'll try to tap a little bit, tap the lows. So I probably wouldn't be buying up here unless I see strong continuation. Looking for buys, I would wait for it to sweep some sort of liquidity and generate a buy signal. Looking for that momentum. So I would be looking for it to sweep liquidity and then have a strong buy signal momentum. And you'd see that with a big candlestick and then a long wick. So if I saw that, then I would start looking at buys again. But at this point, it's just grinding higher, and it'd be difficult to find an entry unless there's strong momentum. So market about to open. See what happens. Big red candle, big sell-off. Big red candle at open. It's trying to break 480, see if it could hold 480. But I mean, it could, unless we get momentum in one direction or the other. I mean, it could barcode right here. It's been in this range for the last few hours all night, waiting for the jolts job openings at 10 a.m. So right now it could just be trapping a lot of people. We might not see any good trades unless this sell-off continues. Sell-off breaks 480, 490. 500, yeah, you see it's just, now it's barcoding. This could be a sell signal. Looks like we're going to try to sweep some lows. Be cautious about taking any trades right now. I mean, we're still within this range. I mean, it would have to break 480 and it'd have to be a strong break. I'd be very careful about taking trades with jolts at 10 a.m. This might just be a wait and see type moment. I have to wait to see, you know, if we could sweep any liquidity, get any strong moves in either direction, you know, break out of this range, and then wait for the news at 10 a.m. Otherwise, you know, this could all be a trap. But this could be grinding slowly down lower. These aren't strong sells. All these sells, they're long wicks at the bottom, so they're getting bought up. It's not convincing. I mean, this is just a slow grind lower. I mean, this thing could whip right back up. You know, there are enough sell orders that get trapped. Oh, that was a pretty bullish candlestick right there. I mean, bearish. That candlestick, long top wick, was rejected, and now it's selling off. Let's see if this holds. I mean, that was the close of the 5-minute candle. Strong bearish red candle on the 5-minute. A lot of back and forth. going to 10 o'clock, this is probably going to accelerate in one direction. Just generate some of that liquidity. But right now, it's hard to make any trades. We're still really influenced by this range. I mean, it couldn't continue selling it off, and you know, this magnet, it got drawn right back into this range with after the close of that 5-minute candle at 9:35. So really, I mean, this is just back and forth action. It's a good way to get trapped. Really gonna have to wait and see. But just still within this range. Not much happening. I did take a couple of trades. I am up on the session when I saw that it was gonna potentially, when it was breaking and it was testing the resistance, I took a couple shorts. I am up about 15 points, so am green on the session. But just have to have patience. Right now it's wait and see. Looking at the NVIDIA chart, it's been barcoding since open. It's still in that range. I also like to keep charts open of the top 10 holdings in the NASDAQ 100. Just watch, see what's happening with the those top 10 holdings. It gives me a good reference. All right, this is about to be the close of another 5-minute candle. It's just grinding lower. 940 candle. 940 candle's closed. The 15-minute candle, that's a big red candle on the 15-minute, but could be setting up for liquidity squeeze. The way this is just slowly grinding down into jolts. Just a slow, long grind. If you've been chasing the shorts, I mean, you are making money. You just have to be careful with your stops. All right, we've got a wick, a bottom wick on the 15-minute that's starting to form. If that wick keeps on, yeah, this could be the start of a bullish momentum. Right there, that's 12 points. So I'm up over 25 points in this session. MACD about to cross over, looking like it's going to cross over. Swept, formed a bottom wick on the 15 minute. The bulls start taking this. There could be some upside momentum from here into jolts. We see that a lot with news. Oftentimes, going into news, there's some sort of liquidity sweep, and then collects those orders, and then it tries to take those out. There's going to be a lot of volatility going into news. But this range was a strong magnet, so once I saw that there was a long wick forming on the 15 minute, I knew that likely there was going to be a sweep back up and take out all those shorts. So I mean it's going to be almost 100 points from the bottom of the candlestick. Close of the 15 minute, long wick on the 15 minute candle. That was a bearish candle with a long bottom wick. And yeah, it's just going up now, going up into jolts. Very bullish. But I would be careful chasing any trades here now. Yeah, it's been a steady grind up, and we're back into that range. We're sitting right in the middle of the range. So I mean, to get bullish, take on any longs, we'd have to really see a continuation of this momentum. But just sitting tight here, waiting for jolts to come out at 10 a.m. I would not be taking any shorts right here. This is just... unless we get a strong reaction down, anything that's happening right here are just, I would be looking for buy opportunities. But news coming out at 10 o'clock. We got the jolts, so I'd be cautious about trading into news. Nvidia's broken out of the range. Had a couple big green candles in Nvidia. Still trading in a range. Really barcoding on the 30. Some long wicks on the 30-minute charts. All these cells get yoked up and form long wicks. But we're back inside of this range. Just sitting right here in this range. Hard to find any good trades. Just slow grind up for the last 15 minutes. If you got a long down here at the bottom, it's been a good trade riding it up. This is setting up to break out. It looks like it wants to break out 560, 570, 580, but we got jolts coming up, so it'd be very risky. There's going to be volatility once that news gets released. Right now I'm up 25 points, so I'm gonna wait for jolts to come out. trying to break out of this range in the 5-minute, but wasn't able to. It tried to break, and then there was a resistance, so we got a top wick forming on the 5-minute, and then right back down into this range. Strong sell right back into the range. It's a big red candle. That is not a bullish candle. But yeah, just trading up and down in this range. I mean, that it's a good setup. You know, if you're trading in the range, but it's hard to make any trades up here, right at the top of this range, unless your thesis is bearish, unless you got a strong bearish thesis. But we got news coming up in 5 minutes, so. And looking at the QQQ, I mean, the QQQ is sitting pretty flat. It's down just 0.08%. So, I mean, we're just going back and forth in this range right now at this point, waiting for the news, the jolts a ton of. But I am up 25 points on the session, taking little choppy shorts, and then I did take a long once I saw that it was sweeping the 15-minute candle. Nothing too crazy today, just taking small profits within this range, waiting for jolts at 10 a.m. So we got jolts today at 10 a.m. and then tomorrow at 10 a.m. our ISM services PMI. So that's also red folder. And then Thursday, 8:30 initial jobless claims, and Friday non-farm payrolls and unemployment. So a lot of news coming out this week. Could see a big move at 10, but I'm not sure there's going to be much continuation. We're kind of stuck up here in this range with all this news coming out later in the week. Okay, the market's 600. That's a big resistance level in this market. Coming into news, 9:59. News coming out in less than a minute. Jolts. ISM manufacturing PMI. So we're gonna wait and see what's going on with the news release at 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing news candle right here. Oh, jolts. We got the jolts. Jolts at 9 a.m. This could be a buy opportunity right here. If we hold 600. Job openings rose 7.618 million. So that's good news for a rate cut. Bad news, there are more job openings, but if we're looking for a rate cut, that would be good news. So we'll wait here, sit and see what plays out with this. I mean, it is good that there is a bit of a bottom wick that's forming on this this candle. think we are setting up for a long right here. Continuation higher. Probably to test yesterday's highs. Way up there, 700 could be the next. Well, up on the day over $700. I did make a risky trade and was down a little bit. Got in too soon, anticipating the this long bottom wick right after the 10 o'clock news, because the upside momentum wasn't very strong. But right now it looks like we're just going to keep on grinding higher. Moving right back into the yesterday's high range, 600, 650. So see if it settles at about 600, 650, and then there's a retest of yesterday's highs sitting just under 700. So that's what we're chasing right now. But longs are in play right now. It's just grinding up. So right now we're expanding higher. I don't see anything that would indicate opportunity to take a short. If we get a strong rejection through the EMA, then that could be a change to bearish momentum. But at this point, I would only be looking for buy opportunities. We had that little 10-15 push. And now it's retracing. Hitting off the EMA right now. So, I mean, this could be a buy opportunity right in here if you wanted to do a little scalp action. You got a lot of buyers right here in this level. You see the candle wicking up. And then everybody taking profit. We got a lot of news coming out later in the week, so any upside momentum is going to be hampered by what's coming out the next few days. Tomorrow we got the ISM at 10 a.m. Initial jobless claims Thursday, and non-farm rolls and unemployment Friday. All right, so yep, over 700 on the session. Across 5 accounts, Apex and Legends. I think I'm gonna call it a day. That's it.